Now that you want to be Nigeria's president, at the same time you are the national chairman of the NRP, on the website of your party, there is a statement both written, and I will quote it. You did say on your the NRP website, it did say that the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. End of quote. That's what your party put boldly on its website. What do you mean by that?
Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm saying. We're not concerned about fighting fires and all of that and blaming people who haven't done something in the past. We're bringing a new vision for Nigeria. And in fact, what we intend to do is to start afresh. When people ask us, what do you want to do differently in this country? I say everything. Everything is what we want to do afresh, you know. So, hey, every aspect and every sector in the economy needs a rejig. And it's very simple. We're focusing on fact and figures, right? I've been on your show before. I've told you the fact that Nigeria is budgeting 9.1 trillion. We should be budgeting 20 trillion. And if you ask me why, I'll say, look, South Africa is budgeting $155 billion. Nigeria is budgeting $25 billion. You know, those are facts and figures. Even things like job creation. I say that even the public sector in Nigeria is employing only 3% of the working populace, when in the UK it's 20%, US is 17%. The OECD countries in general is about 21%. In the Scandinavian countries, 35%. Because we have not established the minimum standard of living for every Nigerian, wherever they may be found within Nigeria. Those are the kind of new ideas we're bringing. So that if you go to any village, you should be able to see prototype government houses that have been built for them to give them a standard. We don't just abandon them in those villages and leave them in their mud houses that are collapsing where they stand. This economy hasn't started at all. And that's the reason why we say if we actually start this economy on a positive note, we should be growing this economy by 15 to 20%, taking people out of poverty, bringing much more business into the environment, bringing in tourism and what have you. You know, so those are the kind of things. It's about bringing new ideas. And I title my campaign as the revolution of ideas. So because, hey, this country needs a revolution right now. Since we are not going to be doing violence, we have to then actually calibrate our ideas to you know, catalyze that revolution that this country needs.
Let me put a question in. You did say that you are the third first, talking about your party. It brings me to the question that why did you not join part of the over 30 political parties that went to the PDP or aligned with the PDP to form the CUPP? Why is your party not part of the coalition?
No way. We're still open to coalitions, but we would actually want to join coalitions of the new, not coalitions of the old. Again, in line with that statement that you made, that quotation that you made. I would probably say, when you mentioned that, I was like, God forbid, why would we join PDP? PDP was in government for 16 years. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you, my party is exploring legal means. We're taking them to court, to INEC, as well as PDP and APC, and we're asking for the court to delicense and deregister these two parties called PDP and APC because they are mere contraptions and special purpose vehicles for illegal access to the Commonwealth of Nigeria. The parties have grown big, quote and unquote, because they've had access to take taxpayers' money and be using to fund themselves and also be using to bribe voters. So certainly we will not have anything to do with PDP. But if we see like-minded parties like ours that are fairly new and we see that there's a chance that we can work together, hey, why not if not? You know, so but to a large extent we want to keep it clean and want to keep it real for now. And again, it's not about, for me, it's not by force that I have to be a president. But our ideas, my ideas, those ideas embedded in the revolution of ideas must win.
Let me quickly, because we're out of time. I wish I had more opportunity to take you up on some of the ideas, great ideas that you put under the table. The question will be how you will make them happen, the practical aspect of making those ideas happen. But let me ask you, you've talked about how you're going to do a revolution, and in the political space, your party is a newbie. If you look at what happened in Ekiti, in the Ekiti election, your party candidate, Laleka Ayọ̀rìndé, had 125 votes of almost 600,000 votes that was obtainable in that election. And Alvin said to have spent, allegedly, about 50 million naira in that election. If you had done that in Ekiti, what are your hopes for 2019 election? Because you seem to be very confident about the chances of your party.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? We can't play the game of APC PDP. We have to reinvent the game. First of all, Laleka Ayọ̀rìndé is not our candidate wasn't our candidate in Ekiti. He's one of our aspirants in Oyo State. I think he made that statement. He made it as an example. Certainly, we don't have as much money as that, which we spent in Ekiti. Of course, we scored 125 votes, but those were the 125 people who were ready to stand up for their rights and stand up for their integrity and say that no matter the fact that this party doesn't have money, we're going to vote for them all the same. When on that day money was used and deployed, we saw the BBC camera that moved around and saw people being, and we are actually suing for the invalidation of that election. But not only that the APC and PDP should be delicensed for using taxpayers' money to
Mr. Fasua, I'm afraid we're out of time. It's unfortunate that we don't have as much to talk about, but the little we've been able to speak about today, I wish you the very best. Mr. Tokwe Fasua is the national chairman of the ANRP and the presidential aspirant of ANRP.